Good evening and welcome everyone to the end of the week of Storm Division. Here we go on Friday, saving the best for last on this wonderful Friday evening. My name is Isaacs and I am going to bring you tonight a matchup between two newer, at least this, in my mind, looking at these teams, it looks like there's a conglomeration of players from other teams, but newer names, at least, to the teams. We've got GG Till I Die going up against Error 404. Like I said, I recognize a lot of these names, just haven't seen them necessarily in this combination. But my name is IceX. Welcome all joining in tonight. We've got a really fun evening stored out for you. Let me get you guys over to the map screen so you can see what we have coming for you. We got one more person waiting to get into the lobby. Once that last individual is in, we should be ready to get going. But going to the maps and picks, GG Till I Die ended up winning the coin toss, so they elected to get first hero pick, meaning Error 404 started us off with our bans. The bans were from Arrow 404, Garden of Terror, and Alteric Pass. The map bans from GG Till I Die is going to be Battlefield of Eternity and going to be Dragonshire. So Arrow 404, they get to send us to our map pick, and they are going to send us on to Infernal Shrines. Can't think of any better way to start off this series than one of those classic maps. It's going to be quite a bit of fun. Just looking to make sure these teams are giving the readies. Nope, we still got one team waiting for just a few seconds more, but let's look real quick, see how these teams are doing in the standings. Currently in the Storm Division standings, GG Till I Die is sitting in the number 4 spot of 8. However, they have only played one match so far, and it was a 3-0 victory for them. They took a series against, I believe it was Team Backdoor. Let me double check. Yes, it was. Team Backdoor won 3-0 last week, so started off their season on the right foot. Meanwhile, Air 404, they're currently sitting in the 8th spot. They've played 2 matches so far, dropping both to some very, very challenging opponents, losing to both Heavy Impact and Wild Heart Omega, both teams who have been around this scene with those names for quite a while. So respectable losses there. Definitely have learned, definitely gone blow for blow. They believe they've won 1 map, lost 6, but they're looking to turn it around here in this game number 3 for them. So looking at these two teams, I mean, going to a map like Infernal Shrines is always a delight to start off because there is so much different style of play that can come out here. We see a lot of these champions get focused that have the AoE kind of potential. Looking at the tank pool, we're looking at the Johanna, the Mei, even looking at something like a Diablo for all the wall slams that he can get around the objectives. But when we get into the offlane of the Bruisers, oh, it looks like one person is actually waiting for a sub here. But looking into the offlane and the bruisers, we're looking for those bruisers that can either do one of two things, either clear a lot around the objective or push heavily when the objective is no longer favorable, or you just want to get some of that sweet, sweet macro pressure going. And you're looking at champions, the number one that can kind of be the jack of both trades there, Sonya, can definitely come out here pretty quickly. You can also get champions like Diva coming out here, being able to zone people off with their mech bomb. Zool has definitely been known to make an appearance here or there on Infernal Shrines, but it's got to be with the right composition. It is a weaker map of his, not the strongest for a double soak, but Zool always can really create a lot of havoc with that pushing pressure that he creates. Dahaka, another one that has really kind of started making his rounds in the scene, the competitive scene again, with the few buffs that he recently got, has kind of snuck up a couple tiers and is making his presence known with that global pressure that he can provide, and also being able to teleport himself into the teams. And then, oh, we got Cattle coming in. Cattle's our sub. All right. And then, looking at, oh, never mind. He's on the team. Okay. I'm like sitting here going, wait a minute. What? What is going on? Never mind. We've got it all figured out now. But we have both teams sitting in the lobby now. And yeah, just waiting. Cattle's not on this team. Cattle is the sub. What am I talking about? And then, yeah, coming out from Cue Ball in chat, I can't forget about Hogger. I mean, how could we forget about Hogger doing his infinite spin on the objective, just hitting all four corners? You got to be a real pool ace to be able to line that up and hit it home. But Hogger is able to just make this objective be absolutely crazy, especially that middle one. You know, the middle and the bottom one. Top one, not necessarily as much. You know, top one's a little harder for the Hogger to be that crazy Tasmanian devil, but middle and bottom, my goodness, Hogger is just absolutely insane around that objective. And some of those camp pickups too. Hogger can really shred through them, and most teams have to go through choke points in this map in order to get to those camps. So Hogger can really cut those off too with his ability to just spin and bounce back and forth. Looks like we're just getting one final thing clarified by one of these teams, and then we should be going. We've got 10 in the lobby, so we are ready to go. But my interest in this map is where these teams are going to go in their assassin pools, or if one team decides to go that triple front line, that double bruiser tank, which actually does very, very well on a map like Infernal Shrines, where you can get that triple front line to kind of just block everybody off from the objective as long as your positioning is set up well in advance. So could definitely be something. Double support, always love when that comes out. And then, of course, last time I believe I casted this in Storm League on Tuesday, somebody ran Kidnap Comp on Infernal Shrines. I'm like, all right, I haven't seen a Kidnap Comp in a while. I haven't seen Stitches on Infernal Shrines in forever. And we got the Stitches, Medivh, Anduin, like the king of the Kidnap Comp, all on the same team, and they ran it very efficiently. So it was kind of fun to see that be brought out. But we've got readies coming out from one team. Looking at, oh, they're waiting for me. I forgot to push ready. That was my bad. They are waiting on me. I gave my ready. They are ready, and I believe we are going to get started here in Infernal Shrines. And here we go. GG Till I Die on the blue side getting first pick, so they will have first ban. Arrow 404 going to be our red team. And we'll ban second here. And we'll see where these teams decide to focus. Typically, we see either the tank pool or bruiser pool focused quite a bit. Now, Nazeebo has seen a lot of increased play. For sure in the lower divisions and Storm League, things like that, Nazeebo has definitely made his presence known. In the higher competitive scene, I haven't seen Nazeebo focused as much. He's been left open and unpicked in many matches, so just not a ton of emphasis put on the Nazeebo. But we'll see if that decides to change. But there goes the Stitches! Not going to see him here. How unfortunate. Don't want to see that abomination running himself around on a map like Infernal Shrines. Uther going to be the second ban out here. Very strong support and also great into the double support potential. So going to just get rid of Uther here. No more Hammers of Justice going to be thrown down on Infernal Shrines. Meanwhile, GG Till I Die thinking about what they want to do with the second pick. Maybe continue to pinch that tank pool a little more. Get rid of one of those scary, scary tanks. But it's going to be the Vala instead. Vala having herself tuned down a little bit, no longer healing with the Death Siphon. Having a little bit of damage reduction with the level 4 W build, but can still put out a lot of damage. And with the right backline can cause a lot of terror. And Hogger going to be banned out by Arrow 404 here. And immediately Junkrat, yes! I have been saying this for at least 2 weeks now, and I'm so excited. Junkrat has just really made his resurgence in the competitive scene, and we've seen it, at least in the matches that I've had the opportunity to cast, seen Junkrat just setting up so many plays for his team and putting out a lot of damage. So I'm glad he's back. Sylvanas and Brightwing picked up by DH Funds and Zadie. Brightwing bringing that little bit of global presence to be able to match the soaking potential and also be able to jump to the other side of the map when called upon. Sylvanas is going to be that extra pushing power. Diablo going to be picked up by the time of GG Till I Die, followed with the Tychus. So not only get Tychus for themselves, but prevent Tychus from being picked up by the opposing team for the Diablo shred. Tychus very good at being able to create a lot of siege around these objectives, especially when 10s come online, taking that Odin. And Diablo just going to be able to, like we talked about earlier, slam people into walls over and over and over again. You know, with the Sylvanas and Brightwing, not going to be the auto attack Diablo unless we see just like a Greymane Johanna, like just all of a sudden all this dive coming out of Arrow 404. More than likely going to be that W, or depending on what that second assassin pool may be. I anticipate it to be the W. Maybe do a little bit of a hybrid with the Q, but a Nubrak going to be the ban with a Malfurion banned out by Air 404. And so we're waiting to see what gets picked. I anticipate they're going to pick their tank in the second assassin. Leave that off lane pick. Unless they really want the Sonya. It's not banned, hasn't been picked yet. But unless they really put a ton of emphasis on that Sonya, I anticipate it to be tank. It is going to be off lane, so they're saving their last assassin. They've got something up their sleeve. They're going to pick the Leoric early. That leaves potential counterplay coming in from the side of GG Till I Die in that offlane. Now, most of the Leoric's counters, not the greatest. His hard counters, I should say, not the greatest at the double soaking game. But who needs it when you could just send the Undead King on his way? And it's going to be the Diva. So not a strong counter, but going to be able to out-soak and keep up with the Leoric. Or at least double soak and keep up with the Leoric. It's Stukov going to round it out there. Be that silence pool on the APOC combo that they're really looking for. Also be the disengage for when this Johanna decides to go all in. And there's the Thrall. So there is the double or the triple frontline hypercarry Sylvanas. I was curious if we were going to see that come out on Infernal Shrines. It is going to be brought out by Air 404. Using the Thrall to do a lot of damage. And setting themselves up for these Entomb plays. But there you have it. I mean, it's a really scary comp coming out of GG Till I Die for sure. With that Diablo engage follow-up damage from Tychus and Junkrat, but we'll see you on the other side. All right, we are still loading in. Sorry about that. We should be underway. Looks like everybody's now finally loading. The toaster has been fixed, plugged in as it should. And we will get these teams introduced. On the blue side, we've got GG Till I Die. We got Vince 30K on the Diablo. GG Fancy Pants on that Tychus. Mocha on the Stukov. CM Cattle sitting on the Junkrat, going all around. And Simj on that Diva. Meanwhile, on the red side, we've got Error 404. We got Zadie on the Brightwing. Ascension on the Johanna. DH Fun sitting on that Thrall. Pepper, I believe, is the one on the Leoric. And Breakwood on the Sylvanas. I'm going to have to get double checked on that. Oh, yep, I was right. It is Breakwood on the Sylvanas. And here we go into the mid lane. Diablo getting that extra spell armor. Sylvanas does put out a heavy amount of spell damage with her burst. So smart choice picked up by the Diablo. But Brightwing going to go for the early pickup on the fascia. Pretty standard. Going to be able to get that extra healing coming in. But big flip by the Diablo onto the Thrall. Brightwing immediately coming in. The displacement by the Junkrat, and we talked about it. There it is, Junkrat coming in huge already for his teams. Massive, massive plays that Junkrat can provide his team. And a first blood going over till GG Till I Die. Diablo already sitting on 20 soul stacks as well. Look at that. 22, he's getting scary already. But in the top lane, Leoric knocking Diva out of the mech. Getting some damage down. Diva should be able to get away. Look at that stutter stepping. But in the bot, Johanna getting found out by the Lord Terror. Brightwing teleporting herself in. Doesn't get interrupted this time. Will get the heal completely off. And Diva does go down in the top lane. Leoric putting the pain down. And these teams going ahead and picking up their respective camps. So nice solo kill in the top lane by Leoric. That is going to deny some experience, forcing Junkrat to go all the way up to the top lane, meaning this bot camp is going to be under control by Era 404. So Leoric getting his team a little bit of an advantage here. And Sylvanas finishing off the camp, going to go ahead and set herself up for a nice little push in the bot lane with team. Not going to be able to get the passive turn off yet, but the camp is going to be started here. Junkrat is in a rotation, as is D.Va. So they're all coming down. The call is made. Diablo's come in. He's flipped the Johanna around. D.Va trying to get in. Doesn't have the jet propulsion. Used it to get herself down here, but this means this camp is going to flip in favor of GG Till I Die, committing 5 members to the bot lane. So nice rotation. D.Va's already in mid, but we have a pause coming out. We got some lag coming in. Looks like we're going to get some people fixing a router real quick. But what a rotation down by the D.Va there. You love to see that. D.Va gets into the mid lane, goes, you know what? Top lane's already frozen. Leoric's already here, kind of rotating himself, you know, back up from getting that top soak. So I can beat Leoric down, and I'm not going to lose a lot for it. So right side's down. That pressure alone of D.Va rotating herself down forced Era 404, in addition to the Diablo just jumping in, forced them to back off the camp, allowing GG Till I Die to continue to press their early game advantage here. Looking at some of these pickups, Leoric going for the Neo Peasant, so he is going to get that double soak game going even stronger with a level 4 talent pickup. Tychus getting the Master Assassin, looking for that extra attack speed. 25% if he can get the quest done, 10% in its base. But it is going to be Diablo picking up the W build as expected. At level 4, picking up the Souls to the Flame, going to be able to stack himself up really well around these objectives. First one is going to be in the mid lane. And I always like when the first objective is in that mid lane because it kind of takes away the double soaking game. At least for the first objective. If teams, you know, for the first 6 levels decide not to fight each other, which is pretty common, not a lot of bloodshed in the first 6 levels on Infernal Shrines. When the shrine's in the middle, it kind of just nullifies the double soak game there, and teams kind of have to fight around that objective. But we got readies coming out. They can't see my chat, so being the referee, but we got readies coming out. Countdown is coming, and we are back in this game. And in the bot lane, Tychus is going to sit with the minion camp while everybody else rotates up. You know, 2:15, so we got 15 seconds. I anticipate camp timers will be started here shortly. Stukov rotating himself up in that direction. GG Till I Die are set up very nicely for picking up their camp. The side of Era 404, they're going to need to go pick up their own camp as well. And here we go. Junkrat, Stukov picking one up. Sylvanas and Thrall picking the other up. Both these teams on top of the camp timers. Diablo's actually in the bot lane trying to get a little bit more pressure here. Brightwing going to come down to match. And that is where we'll have the slight advantage for Era 404. Brightwing can stay down here and hang out until really needed by the team, either forced in by an all-in engage, or the rest of the team says come up. But this might be it, already coming in. Leoric getting pulled in, getting flipped, getting stunned into the wall, uses the Unstoppable to get himself away as Brightwing teleporting in, but in a rough spot. She teleported in on the Shade. Had to get herself out to safety there. And the objective is going to be that Mortar Punisher here. Diablo just sitting in wait, looking to see what he can pick off. Everybody on Era 404 are going to go clear out this top lane, giving themselves a little top lane presence, not really needing to commit to this objective quite yet. Johanna just being that bully, bringing the whole team up. Tychus using the minigun, not blind. D.Va throwing the bomb out just to clear everything away. Look at this, Junkrat's in the bottom lane just picking up the soak. He's like, why, we got the advantage. I can go get some soak. They're really far ahead on these shrines, and now we saw Air 404 coming in, so that means Junkrat rotate up. Big stun coming in by Diablo. Gets the flip on Johanna. Brightwing teleporting herself in, does get in with the Iron Skin. D.Va sitting fairly low, but Leoric has to get himself out, and Brightwing, she teleported into a dangerous spot. Gonna go down. Johanna soon to follow, and Diablo looking for a third. Gets the flip until Sylvanas interrupts the Banshees, but there she goes again. The Silence Pool coming in by Maka, denying the Banshees from the Sylvanas. Can't reposition herself when she's silenced, and that is 3 kills to none in favor of GG Till I Die. Looking strong with this early game as their comp goes, and we've got another pause coming out. And now we've got a computer restart. Oh man, a lot of delays. I guess I'll take this moment to check up on chat, make sure I'm not missing anything. Tiger coming in with the 333-bit cheer. Thank you so much, Tiger. Do appreciate that coming in. I like GG Till I Die's comp here from X Factor. I definitely like the composition. I just watching this thing unfold with the draft, I really like it. Now, Era 404, where their comp comes fully online, is when they can use this Brightwing to pull pressure away and then get a fantastic engage from Leoric in these rotations. You know, the Leoric is going to look to get that soak, try to out-soak the D.Va, post 10, and then once he gets those post 10, look to make that play in that 5v4 situation. Use the Johanna to really engage. This is almost certainly going to be a Blessed Shield Johanna. D.Va with the bugged health as always. Why not? Of course it's got to be D.Va with the bugged health. D.Va just can't play along. But Diablo sitting one soul away from finishing off his passive, get that Black Soul Stone completed, and gonna be able to, you know, be that really big tanky terror in the front line. And with the spell shield he took at level 1, that soul shield, he's really gonna be difficult to take down, considering Sylvanas' main source of damage is that ability damage, where she can really chunk people down. Diablo's going to be able to eat quite a bit of that, and has a Stukov there to just top him back off. So Diablo, you know, with this triple front line, Diablo's really not as scared about his engages as he potentially could be. Gonna have to watch Thrall, see if Thrall is able to get some good damage on this Diablo. Really kind of wait for Diablo to engage, get the stuns down, and then put the full combination of the spell rotation from Thrall and Sylvanas down on them. See if they can get him. But if they're gonna have it's really gonna be, if they're having a tough time taking down Diablo, they're gonna have a tough time in these later fights. But I really think when they get their 10s, they're gonna be able to change this around. Yes, you can't see the game. Its game is paused right now for those who may be joining in currently and not know what's going on. Pauses, during all pauses, we rotate off the map so that teams can't take an extra look-see. But once the restart is over, and it looks like they're finishing the restart right now. They're loading back into the game, so we should get this thing underway in just a few more moments. You know, the one thing I do like about casting on this channel instead of the other one is I don't get spammed with these take a drinks. Those who haven't been over to the channel, good times over there. Lots of HOTS action being caught on my channel in addition to here, and a lot of people coming over and love to redeem the take a drink man. They had a campaign the other day to see how many times they could make me go to the bathroom in one series. Quite entertaining. waiting to get these last. Correct. Competitive integrity is exactly why all casters swap off. Most of these players are pretty familiar with the competitive scene. We're not too worried about these individuals here. They love the competitiveness of the game, don't need that extra edge. But in the very, very, very small chance, we just won't let that risk be there. We're just waiting. All right. Looks like we got everybody in. Got the readies coming out. Just waiting to get the thumbs up from GG till I die. And here we go. Ready's coming out from both sides. Countdown is started. And back into the game we go. First Mortar Punisher running himself out. Gonna siege up this mid lane. Don't have the Johanna yet to be able to siege it, and the wall has already broken, so this is actually gonna set a really good siege up. Since the wall is down, the first jump onto the Iron Skin is going to be absorbed, but the siege is already being put down, and Sylvanas took a bit of a chunk from that Mortar Punisher, taking a little bit more. Diablo backing himself off. The Punisher gonna finish it out. The rest of the team gonna go get the cancel. Leoric is here. The pings are going down. I really love how they have Junkrat in the off lane. That's so interesting. But here we go. Diablo getting the flip onto the Johanna. Thrall coming all the way in. This is good damage coming out till Air 404. They're on the chase. They've got Maka very low. Stukov having to run for his life. He's at 62 health. Johanna trying to get it. Gets the last shot, but D.Va isn't able to get the mech bomb explosion. Zadie coming in on the Brightwing. And that is a kill going over to Air 404. Isn't able to get the Johanna. Runs into a wall, and that's as far as Diablo will be allowed to go. So good pickup coming in. 10's now online for GG till I die. Thrall's going to be very careful. Diablo definitely is somebody scary to deal with when the 10 is online. APOC picked up by that Diablo. Micro missiles are picked up by the D.Va. The Commandeer Odin by Tychus. The Riptire by Junkrat. Sukov holding that last one and now picking out the flailing swipe. Meanwhile, 10's just around the corner for our team. Error 404 trying to pick up their camp. Have the 10's online. It's going to be Earthquake by Thrall. Gets stunned in by the Diablo, though. It's going to be the Falling Sword by Johanna. Thrall gets himself away, and now looks for the re-engage onto the Diablo. But remember, Diablo is that tanky beast now. Tychus popping the Odin. The Riptire gets 3 members. The big stun on the wall onto Johanna. 2 more APOC in the backline. Blink heal by Zadie to get herself away, but Defunds is going to go down. Zadie barely getting herself away with that Blink heal. And that's 2 kills going over to the side of GG till I die. They get the camp, they get the siege started here in the bot lane. Looking at some of these ultimates still picked up. It was the Blink Heal by Brightwing. It's the Entomb by Leoric. The Earthquake by Thrall. The Falling Sword by Johanna. And it is going to be that Wailing Arrow. Spray going down Diablo. But a nicely timed Blink by Brightwing interrupts it. Talk about your fast fingers. That was pretty quick there with the dancing shoes from Zadie. And now Leoric heading back up. The whole team from GG till I die rotating up to maybe make a play around these camps. Don't have their 13s online yet, so really don't need to force anything. But out to a 6-2 lead. And the next Punisher going to be in this bot lane. And now with these 10s online by the side of Error 404, they need to get on these talent tiers. And then, ooh, Leoric's in a bit of a rough spot, but able to pop the Wraith Walk, get himself away very easily. Johanna trying to just bully everybody away. D.Va looking like she may have tried to sneak in, was denied. Brightwing just continuing to soak in the bot lane. The rest of the team gonna push this camp out in the top lane and may just elect to stay up here. Have the Sylvanas, have the passive. Everybody from GG till I die kind of hovering out in this mid, rotating themselves up. And Junkrat setting up the traps, getting everything kind of in position, and starting the camp off. 10 already picked up. Very efficient clear coming out. Diablo just going to sit in these vents. And Sylvanas and co are going to push this mid lane. 13s are right around the corner. Brightwing going to get it, and here we go. 24 already picked up. 31, excuse me. And this is going to be pretty much going to contest. The root goes down onto Johanna and the Silence. She does get out of the Silence puddle to pop the Iron Skin. But this Arcane Punisher, completely uncontested, gonna push out the bot lane, and there is no fort, so it is gonna be a keep. Tychus and Diablo going up, picking up this camp. Gotta do something while you wait for this slow Punisher to make his way up to the wall. Might as well pick up a camp on your way. The Odin already popped by Tychus, adding more siege pressure to an already sieged situation here, breaking down these walls. The Punisher getting down to about quarter health. He may get the second jump off. We'll see. Sylvanas did stop attacking him, so he may get the second jump off. It is going to be onto the Thrall. D.Va throwing down the bomb to zone everybody away. The rest of the members just sieging up this bot keep, and now the re-engage. The hunt is on by Air 404. The Entomb onto the Diablo and the D.Va. We've got a beautiful absorption by the D.Va there, but unfortunately Diablo couldn't get his charge through the D.Va, getting body blocked by his own member. However, Thrall able to get the Earthquake down. Nobody has fallen yet. Johanna sitting at 30 health and is able to get herself away. I mean, D.Va took up so much damage, absorbed it all with that shield. Got herself to the front of that Entomb and just soaked it all up. But then Diablo wanted to re-engage with the APOC, and unfortunately his charge only went to the back of D.Va's mech and then it stopped. So wasn't able to get the full combo down, but still a great siege nonetheless by GG Till I Die. The keep sitting only about at a 5th HP. And the map just opening up for the blue side, which is exactly what they need. Get this top fort. Allow them Junkrat to just create this pressure with the D.Va. Diablo really loves this spray, and I really like it too. That spray is awesome. But D.Va just such good Spidey sense. It's like, nah, you know what? I don't want to die. Me and Junkrat are just going to walk ourselves away. Knowing just how far to step up safely, get that soak, force people to collapse on you, and then just able to get away. And the 3-man just continues to siege up in this top lane. And look, here they go again. Junkrat just getting forward, poking things down, kind of forcing Air 404 to stay put. Let them continue to just dictate the pressure, the game flow right now. All these lanes are just collapsing. D.Va using the micro missiles just to add some more siege damage, as is Tychus. This Diablo just hanging out in the bushes, waiting, looking for any engage. All ultimates are online for both sides here. Air 404 just getting now onto their 16 talent tier, so can start fighting again. Everybody on GG Till I Die just backing up respectfully, waiting for another objective to fight over. Going back to the mid lane. The Frozen Punisher going to be spawning in that mid lane. And Diablo going to be beating up this minion camp. Not the fastest camp clear. Definitely going to need a couple friends to help him out here. But he did go the hybrid build. So he started with the W and then switched to the Q. So I do like it. He switched to this hybrid build. Thrall getting rooted right in the bottom. A big 3-man silence coming in from the Sylvanas, but Thrall getting rooted out. Can't really follow up. Drops the Earthquake. Diablo actually getting focused really well here by the side of Air 404. They continue to burn down the Lord of Terror and actually get the kill. Leoric trades his life away. Will be able to respawn, as will Diablo. He will be coming back in baby form, but that big trap by Junkrat. Thrall getting rooted out there and a ton of damage just immediately turning. And that is a pickup for the side of GG Till I Die. Junkrat just continuing to chase, wants to get the Brightwing. Everybody else on GG Till I Die gonna finish off these minions, pick up this Frozen Punisher. Junkrat immediately just booking it to the bot lane, gonna get some more soak going. Tychus pushing out the top lane as well. So all these lanes getting pushed in at the same time. And then the collapse will be on the mid lane, trying to just get as much siege pressure set up as you possibly can. Tychus using that level 7 to get that extra damage over time. Punisher is here, all minions collapsing in the other lanes as well. Frozen Punisher having already jumped, looking for a second one. Diablo doesn't have APOC quite yet, so not really needing to pull the trigger, just waiting. Here comes the second jump up onto the Leoric. He goes in, gets the flip, but the Wraithwalk is out, and Diablo in very deep, does not have the souls this time, but huge damage coming down onto Brightwing is going to take the pressure off of the Diablo. And that is going to allow Diablo to walk out of the Entomb. The Punisher still jumping himself around. Riptire being thrown out by the Junkrat, just looking to zone everybody off. Gets a 2-man explosion onto both the Thrall and the Johanna here. Big root teleport by the Diablo. The 20 Storm Talents are online. Diablo is able to use it. Didn't get the follow-up stun. Leoric taking the jump. Now the re-engage looking to happen, but everybody's sitting so low. A big red button down onto the back line, and the damage will continue to flow. D.Va gets the mech in. Nobody has fallen yet, but the Leoric will fall to the D.Va. And this looks like with the flailing swipes, it may be game number 1. 3, 4 have fallen. And GG Till I Die looking for the clean ace and the core, but Sylvanas is gonna deny it to him. Diablo staring at gates, but cannot pass. GG's, game 1. Going over to GG Till I Die. And my oh my, that draft just being executed so well. That was just an absolute treat to see it. The draft looked scary as it was developing in the draft phase. And then they executed it so cleanly in that early game, using the Junkrat and the D.Va to each put pressure on those opposing lanes, and instead just roaming with Tychus, Diablo, and Stukov. Maximum efficiency coming out of GG Till I Die here. And you just love to see the patience. They're not forcing anything, but they know their limits and we're stepping up. Meanwhile, Air 404. You know, the hypercarry Sylvanas was there with the Thrall, but it was really hard for them. The two biggest things was, one, getting past the Junkrat traps, because Junkrat was able to set himself up so well in some of these fights that it made it really hard to find those corridors, which ultimately made it really difficult for the Leoric to get in with the Entomb and for everybody to follow up. Let me throw it over to the talents real quick. I've got the invite already for game number 2. And these teams are just ready to rock and roll. Let me put it on that for you guys for a second real quick. And I'm going to throw it over to the map screen. And get this second map underway. Woo, that was bad. There we go. Goodness gracious. Hit the wrong button. The 1 key and the 2 key are just too close to each other. But we're going to Sky Temple. All right. First pick or map pick went over to the side of Air 404. They got to choose which one they wanted to do. And they elected to get first pick, meaning GG Till I Die got to send us to our map, and they're going to send us on over to Sky Temple. Ready's coming out from both these teams. Everybody's ready to get going for this second draft. The people demand Artanis compositions. I really want an Artanis at some point today, just for Crush. He donated the other day to see an Artanis composition, and the team rejected his donation. Didn't run the Artanis, so hopefully we'll see it here. So it'd actually be a good map for it, but Vikings getting banned out immediately, knowing that a map like Sky Temple definitely has the potential to really abuse with the Vikings play, as with the Abathur play. Don't want to see the Vikings coming in from the side of Era 404. And it looks like the sub has come back or been subbed out again. Abathur, there's the Abathur. Well, okay, both are gone. We got a sub. Cattle has taken a seat. I believe he was the sub anyway. And OXG Medora, I believe, is the one that subbed in here from the side of GG Till I Die. I believe that is who is on their roster. Hogger getting banned out here. Yes, that is who is on their roster. So looks like they needed a sub for a game. Now we've got the full army ready to go from the side of GG Till I Die. But Hogger and Sylvanas, so the Respect to Sylvanas ban coming out of GG Till I Die. Didn't want to see Sylvanas again. And Dahaka picked up by Pepper. The essence to be collected. So we're not going to see the Artanis, at least on the side of Era 404, but maybe GG Till I Die. Every map is a good Artanis map because every map has swappable enemy heroes. You can't argue with the logic. It is just so sound. But it's going to be Samuro and Brightwing. So the Brightwing stolen away and Samuro going to be picked up by GG Till I Die. Going to be able to add a ton of split pushing pressure, a ton of macro play coming out of Samuro. Going to need to see some really heavy engage coming out of side of Era 404 to pick these fights when Samuro is trying to be that annoying off laner. But it's going to be the Cassia and Lucio. So Lucio there for the speed up for sure. Good answer there. Cassia can jump herself forward. Also get the pick with the Valkyrie if she elects to go that route. So they've got some pick potential going up, but they need a little bit more blow up and a little bit more to the front. Band's coming out. The Mei, I mean, that's a great tank if you're looking to dive, and really pick these fights quickly using the ice wall to be able to isolate out certain targets and then just sound the sirens. Era 404 waiting for this last ban, looking probably for another tank ban. Don't want that disengage, and it's going to be the Diablo being banned out by Era 404. Respect ban going over to the Diablo play, but a Nubarak and Falstad. There's the disengage from Fancy Pants. You want to dive? I'll blow it all away. And a Nubarak there for the counter engage. The Cocoon and Return to Sender coming out from GG Till I Die. So now where do you go if you're Era 404? Now do you look to get a little bit more, you got, what are we looking for? We're looking for a tank and a second damage slash another bruiser. Do we run the Thrall again? Nope, it's going to be Murgadin and Tychus. Going to steal the Tychus way and get the Murden. So now the opportunity is there. Murden like to jumping forward, get the stuns, but also has the peel. I don't think that's going to be a Haymaker Murden. There's no good Haymaker target. It's got to be the Avatar Murden coming out here. Unless this last pick is going to be a good Haymaker target, but you just need something with displacement. There's really not much of a... There it is. Junkrat can just get himself to safety when Murden decides to Haymaker. So not really a great Haymaker, meaning this is probably going to be an Avatar Murden. So he's going to have a lot of ability to get into Junkrat Falstad's face and at least force them to go backwards while Tychus and Cassia try to burn through the Anubarak. But you always got to watch out for those sneaky Samuro plays. But here we go. Game number 2. I'll see you in there. All right, ladies and gentlemen, my camera just went crazy, but that's okay because we are underway here. GG Till I Die is your blue team. We got Vince going all sorts berserk on the Anubarak. GG Fancy Pants on the Falsehead. Junkrat trying to cheat. OXG Medora. We got SimJ on that Samuro and Mocha on that Brightwing. Meanwhile, on the red side, looking to even this up and send us to a best-of-3 series, we got Error 404, we got Zadie on the Lucio, Pepper on the Dahaka Ascension, on that Murden Breakwood, sitting there on the Cassia, and we got DH Funds on the Tychus.
Go fight.
And to the mid lane we go. Cassia wanting to get the stack. Sorry, I went to the mid lane. Looks like both these teams are going up over this objective in the top lane. And this is immediately going over, but look at here in the bot lane. Juking him out and getting the tower. Love to see it. GG Till I Die getting the tower with the cheese. Don't care about the vision, just want to get the siege going. Using the beetles to maximum efficiency. Look at this. Has the burrow available, just going to get himself out. Murden looking for the hunt. We got the teleport coming in for the Brightwing, and Tychus getting booped all the way back. The Polymorph is down. Falstad looking to finish him off and gets the kill first blood and a tower. Going over till GG Till I Die, and they're not done. Anubarak getting the knockup with the barbs on the Murden, and the siege is afoot here in the bot lane. Samuro being the double soak duty. Cassia getting booped almost back to the team. Lex just barely missing and goes backwards. And Junkrat rotating over. So another Junkrat game from GG Till I Die. You love to see it. Absolutely love to see it. But both teams going to go ahead and pick their camps up here. Junkrat on his own camp. The rest of the team in position. Anubarak maybe thinking about it, but elects to back off. Wasn't quite there in time. Junkrat going to go over and just solo this camp on his own. Has Samuro coming in now to give a little bit of a lending hand. The Anubarak keeping the siege camp right here. Doesn't want it to go down, so that Brightwing can push this camp in and get more siege pressure. And nobody really contesting it as Breakwood and Zadie went to go get their own Merc camp here in the top lane as well. Junkrat back to finishing this off up in the top lane. But look at this. The siege is continuing to be underfoot here in the bot lane. Burrow all the way through the walls. Dahaka looking like he may want to rotate himself down here. Lucio on his way as well. So we have a 4v3 situation. Will they get the kill? They're looking for the Anubarak. Don't get the tongue. It connects onto the minion. Tychus diving forward. Falstad just standing there and turns it around. Falstad didn't flinch and is able to get the kill. And now the knockup onto the Murden. And Vince 30K having to back himself up. So second kill going in favor of GG Till I Die. Cassia versus Junkrat here up in the top lane. Neither one getting fairly low. And we've got our temples coming on here shortly. And this is Sky Temple. Sky Temple the map, where if you get the siege pressure and you get the structure advantage, that's how you win the map like Sky Temple. The passive, objective, since there's usually two of them, sometimes there's one. You just trade them away, and as long as you got structure advantage, trading them away is still going to get you structure advantage. So they don't even need to contest mid. They've already got structure advantage in the bot lane, and they'll continue to use that to their advantage. Soaking up with the Brightwing. Falstad not even caring about the objective down here. Just going to back himself off. Brightwing actually teleporting herself in, getting the heal. And GG Till I Die continuing to siege up this top lane. Murden gonna get the siege in the bot lane, or in the mid lane going. Samuro actually here to try and delay it. The good news about Samuro is he's stealth. So you gotta knock him out of that with either the W or the Q coming from Murden. Dahaka getting the soak in the bot lane. Up in the top lane, Falstad looking for the engage, gets himself repositioned there, but Anubarak getting stunned out. Big crowd control going down. Nice lockdown by Air 404, catches the Anubarak. And they are now 2-1 in kills and looking to siege up this mid lane. Falstad going for that hybrid build, taking the auto attack at 1. And going for the slow. So it's going to be mostly auto attack. Ooh, I didn't think they were going to get it, but they do. Junkrat securing that down. But getting the extra healing at 4. And then not getting the boomerang, but getting the extended range here at 7. I gotta start learning these names, because I know the boomerang is one, but I don't remember the other one. Secret weapon. Secret weapon's the other 7 talent here. Is that increased range on the Falstad at 7. The siege is on here in the bot lane. Nubrak sitting in that bush, waiting for something. Now he's rotating down. But everybody's so low, they're not going to be able to pick a fight. Instead, just get the knockup and walk himself away. Brightwing going to go soak up against Dahaka here in the top lane. Samuro getting the pressure. And again, GG Till I Die doing an excellent job of doing like this 3-1-1, rotating really well with this 3-man. And using 2 members. This time it's Brightwing and Samuro rather than Junkrat and Samuro. Junkrat going to sit with the 3-man, provide a little bit of extra damage. Since camp stealing is a little bit more important on a map like Sky Temple, you know, not the most crucial thing on Infernal Shrines, being that you could still get the 2-to-1 camp pickup, but on Sky Temple, wanting to be able to get that camp steal. Actually, the Cocoon going down. The 10s are online for GG Till I Die. They used the Cocoon already, but the Murden jumping all the way in on the Junkrat takes a lot of damage there, trying to run himself away, but Falstad is here, pops the Avatar, so 10's online for Error 404 as well. Dahaka in. This is kind of just all sorts of nuts all over the place. Nubrak burning himself away. Falstad is getting stunned out by the Murden, but Polymorph goes down. Murden gets the unstoppable high five by the Lucio. Cassie is in deep, trying to get those balls to bounce. Gets a couple hits, but now on the run. Samuro is all the way back. The pings are going down. The boop knocks him out of stealth, but Nubrak gets in, gets the Cassia. Junkrat putting the damage down. Isn't quite able to finish it off, but a beautiful 2-man impale. Secures the Tychus kill. Now Falstad is able to put down the rest of the damage from safety, and that is going to be 1-0 in favor of GG Till I Die. And Nubrak going to go claim his prize. This bottom camp, he's going to tank the majority of it with the Beetles. Since he did get that Beetle build at level 1, going to have all those extra Beetles to help him with those minions. And the rest of the team just going to siege this up. Look at it, he doesn't even have to worry. He took the Beetle upgrade at 7 too. The Leeching Scarab, so they're going to actually heal him. And so he's going to be able to sustain this no matter how low his health is. Love to see Beetle build a Nubrak. It's always a treat. But camp's picked up by the side. Spray, the 0-3 Murky spray by Junkrat. But here we go, Error 404 picking up their boss. Getting a sneaky play of their own. Wanting to get this map back under their, you know, as much control as they can. They've lost 3 forts, but this is a way to do it. Brightwing, I think, has this scouted out. The Spidey senses are on. They do get the pick on Dahaka up in the top lane. But I believe we'll see what Samuro can do here. It's almost down. The channel has started, and Nubrak doesn't get on, so the channel does go over to Arrow 404, and it's going to get the stun. No, it doesn't get the stun on Nubrak. Pulsar gets the gust for the disengage. Nah, I don't want to fight this button, but they do pick up the boss, so that's a pretty good pickup for Arrow 404. Now they just got to get back and deal with this push in the top lane. Junkrat just getting some disengage boops there. It's like, nah, you're not coming this way. You got to go the safe way. But assist ping's going down. They're looking to hunt this Junkrat. He gets the first boop. He tries to mount himself up. Murden looking like he wants to jump and get the stun. Finds it. Lucio's there, but Brightwing immediately teleporting herself in. And so everybody sounds the retreat and backs themselves off. Meanwhile, Samuro claiming all these camps as his own down in the bot lane. Gets the one, looking for the second one. Sending the minions up just to be scouts. They did get in vision range there, so everybody does know Samuro's on the camp, but not really setting up to do much about it. Samuro going to get that siege camp here in the bot lane. Big root going down. Murder getting displaced and rooted again. Stunned, knocked up, unstoppable by the high five. But he's so low, pops the Avatar. Dahaka's in, gets the root onto the Nubrak. A big, wow, that's a 4-man Riptire there. That's huge. Samuro spinning his way on the Cassia. Cassia is the first to go down. Murden jumping himself away. The balls are continuing to bounce in the back line, but that is the kill they were looking for. They immediately break form and go back to soaking and continuing to press their macro advantage. Samuro going to the top lane, everybody else to the bot using these siege minions. 4 of them in the bot lane. Dahaka doesn't get the tongue. Big polymorph going down on Murden. Nubrak tried to get the stun, did not connect it. But these 4 siege minions are going to be absolutely brutal to deal with. especially since there's no long-range safe poke. Tychus has got to get close, can only throw the grenade every 15 seconds. Cassia not available. So the Siege minions continuing to put down the damage and see if those dancing shoes are on for the side of Error 404. They're starting to push past, get a lot of these minions out of the way, but Samuro already finished off most of this objective in the top lane. Falstad gonna finish it off here in the bot lane. And the macro game coming out of GG Till I Die, very strong here in game number 2, just as it was in game number 1. Using this Junkrat just to control the map. The all-in engage is actually there. The high pop comes out. They were looking for it. Riptire being thrown out, looking to get onto the Dahaka, jumps the wall, but doesn't get the kill. Samuro and Murden are having like a gentleman's duel over here. Nubarak's here to break that up though. Gets the stun onto the Murden. Does not have the burrow available, but the cocoon is. Throws the cocoon down. Tychus immediately shredding through that. Lucio, 2 falls. Samuro just puts down a well of burst damage. A big knock-up onto the Tychus there. Falstad joining the party. It is 5-man in the top, and the siege continues. 2 keeps down. Everybody pushing in this mid lane. And the core starting to get hit, or at least was announced that it was getting hit. This last keep, Falstad using the gust for the disengage. Tychus popping the Odin to see if he can get any type of siege. Cassia jumping in, looking for the Nubrak. The Nubrak is low on the mana, so he won't have many of his abilities. Samuro blinking himself away, Brightwing immediately there to teleport himself in. And the keep is saved. 16s on their way for Air 404. Once they get their 16s, let's see if they can reverse this course and start getting some map pressure of their own. Gonna look to pick a fight. Only one objective too, so that is a very good sign for Arrow 404. They want to, if it was 2, that would be rough. Having only 1 to fight over, gonna benefit them with their 16. 7-1 in kills so far. But the story of this game is that soak. 13k to 12k. Diahaka actually winning there. But look at the Junkrat soak. 11k. Everybody pretty much mirrored so far on the soak, except for Junkrat and Dahaka, or Junkrat and Murden there in the bottom. And we're looking like we want to get an engage here onto the Nubrak. Burrow is out. The stun does connect. Junkrat puts the trap down. Gonna give a Nubrak an easy way to escape. Falstad just gonna push out this bot lane. And this is where I said Air 404, their comp needed to be a let's go, heavy engage. We got somebody on the other side. We need to pick the fight and pick it fast. They're looking to do that. The cocoon goes down. Falstad just gonna continue to push in. The channel is already going off. They're looking to fight, but Falstad looking to end the game in the backdoor. Air 404 trying to push in, see what they can get, but meanwhile in the backline, Falstad continuing to clear everything out. Just sitting on the core all by his lonesome there. Tychus getting fairly low, and Nubrak continuing the siege. Cassia the first to fall. Samuro spinning his way around. Tychus is going to go down second. And Nubrak getting a 2-man knockup here, and Junkrat right next to him. Lucio gonna get away. Brightwing is chasing it. Murden and tank on tank, support on support. And it's gonna go ahead and end here. Core gonna take the final shots. Game number 2. Going over till GG till I die. Looking very, very strong in their second series of the season, or second match of the season, excuse me. 9-1 in kills. But the soak game is really the story. Junkrat doing an excellent job. I mean, this is the second game Junkrat's been highlighted. 112k, 51k, and almost as much soak as a Samuro. That Junkrat's going to have to be dealt with. I don't think that's getting through game number 3. But what an excellent job by GG Till I Die, just using the small amount of map pressure that they were able to create at the beginning of the game in that bot lane. get one pick, get everybody spread out, and keep that map pressure building. And that's pretty much what they did. You could see it. They really only wanted 1 or 2 kills. They didn't push, and over pursue. They got the 1 kill, and once they got the 1 kill, immediately they fanned out and continued to put the pressure on. Talent's coming up here from both sides. And I'm already getting the invite to game number 3. And so we'll see. We're going to Towers of Doom for game number 3. It is going to be GG Till I Die picking the map again. Meaning Error 404, they were the ones electing to get first pick again. How's everybody doing on this Friday? Chat's a little quiet today. It was bustling here the other night. But pretty fun show being put on by these two teams. Everybody's sitting in the lobby, getting readies coming out from both sides. Looks like we got a bit of a team swap so far. DH funds being transferred. They did a little bit of a trade. Maka going over to Era 404. DH funds going over to GG Till I Die. We've got hats on the right people. We've got people on the right sides. We got readies coming out. Tiger's fantastic. Thanks, Tiger. Glad to hear you're having a fantastic day. I am too. It's been a good Friday. It's been a good week. But yeah, I mean, looking at what we're going into in this game number 3, I fully anticipate that Junkrat is not getting through. Does very well on Towers of Doom as well. So there's no way that can get through a third game, right? But then you got other questions. I said I was ready. Looking at the Diablo making a reappearance, looking at the Sylvanas again with the map pressure she can create with that passive. The Dahaka coming out again. There's just so many different ways that this has to be addressed. Can't bet them all. Got to figure out which ones are the priority, and I anticipate that Junkrat is going to be one of those. Protosiva having a fantastic Friday. Awesome. We got 2 people having fantastic Fridays. Absolutely love it. It's the end of the work week for most.
Towers. Doom.
Start of the work week for a few. Sorry for those. But here we go. Towers of Doom. Arrow 404. Getting the first pick, starting with our first ban. And I anticipate to see something cheeky. I'm just hoping we see something cheeky. Kidnap comp. Holy cow. Something. I don't know. It'll be fun. But Vikings. Again, the first ban here from Arrow 404. Don't want to see the Vikings come out at all in this series. Abathur banned out by GG Till I Die. Same bans, same first bans by both teams. Now we'll see if there's the adjustment. If they're not going to ban the Junkrat, they're going to steal it, right? That is, I guess that is, since you have first pick, that is the flexibility you have. You don't have to ban it. But there it is, the Junkrat. Getting banned out, not going to see it in game number 3. And Stitch is banned out by GG Till I Die. So now with the first pick, where do you put the priority? Do you take the Stukov? Do you take the Dahaka? What was causing the most problem? Do you take it away? Do you take the Brightwing back? But it is going to be the Stukov. Does an excellent job on a map like Towers of Doom. Small corridors everywhere, not a lot of room for breathing. Great place for puddles to go down. GG Till I Die. Looking to get an answer for Stukov. I doubt they take a Varian. You know, Varian Stukov is scary to break that synergy. It's too early to take the Varian. Gonna go with the cleanse. Make sure they have a cleanse just in case they do run the taunt Varian with the Stukov. So Malfurion gonna be picked up, and then, you know, he's got a puddle, I guess, of his own, more of a grassy field, and Vala gonna be picked up by Medora. Sylvanas Yrel, okay, committing to the Yrel before the bans come out. So Pepper, fairly confident on the Yrel. Yrel does have a little bit of struggle in the early game with the double soak. Definitely will catch up later. Gets the mount, gets the movement speed going a little bit further. So as long as there's no heavy wave clear, like a Zool or Sonya or Tahaka, picked up by GG Till I Die, Yrel will be able to maintain. But if either of those are picked up, she's going to have a tough go in the early part. A Nubrak banned out by BG Till I Die. Ran it in game 2. Don't run it in game 3. And Uther again being banned out. That was the first ban of the series. Didn't get banned out last game, I don't believe, but now getting banned out here in game number 3. And now we're waiting to see what GG Till I Die bring out. Is going to be the Tychus Tyrael. Are we going to see a double support Tyrael stimmed Vala? I mean, if we see a Lieutenant Morales come out from GG Till I Die, I'm going to like start the fanfare. That'd be so awesome to see. But Tyrael going to be able to stim this Vala, get the attack speed going. And Tychus as well, got the double auto attack. Also be able to throw down the Sanctification for the counter engage if they need. It's going to be Johanna and Nazeebo going to be picked up. So we are going to see the Nazeebo now coming out. Not banned, I don't believe, in either game. No, I think he was banned in game 1, but he wasn't banned in game 2. But not going to see him. Now going to see him, excuse me, in game number 3. And Johanna, the answer to the double auto attack, going to be able to blind, probably take that upgraded blind at level 1 to really make sure she can lock down both Tychus and Vala. And what are we going to see? It's going to be the Hogger. I knew it wasn't going to be Lieutenant Morales. They didn't have a double soak yet. But it's going to be the Hogger. So Hogger going to be able to do very good job at double soaking. Will be able to, and also be able to pick up that top camp if needed really quickly. So Yrel's got to be on her game. May need in the early game a little bit of assistance from the Nazeebo. But I do like the team fight strategy coming out of Era 404. They have a lot of good team fighting if they can get late in the game. I'll see you on the other side. Alrighty, welcome back. We are still loading. The toasters are brewing, but they have been plugged in, and we are loaded in to game number 3. On the blue side, looking to end this series here and get the domination. GG Till I Die. We got Vince 30K on the Tyrael, GG Fancy Pants on the Tychus, Maka, excuse me, on the Malfurion. Had a hiccup in the middle of that statement. Simj on the Hogger, and UXG Medora on that Vala. Medora. Meanwhile, on the red side, looking to start their reverse sweep and bring it back to a game 5. Error 404. We've got Pepper on the Yrel, Zadie sitting on that Stukov, Breakwit on the Sylvanas, DH Fun sitting on the Nazeebo, and Ascension on the Johanna. And with the Sylvanas, will we see some cheek out of Error 404? It looks like they're going to go to the mid lane, not start the cheek. And gonna just go ahead and get the scrapping going, which Vala's like, yes, I want to get the W's. Gets 3 stacks right there. Nazeebo gets some hits on the Spider as well, but big jump in by Yrel. Everybody just scrapping, no one falling. Their healers are doing their job, keeping everybody up and alive. And look at this aggressive rotation by the Vala. Vault's all the way forward, looking to get the kill. Malfurion lands the sleeve, and Sylvanas gonna go down. Immediately, the aggressive smite play coming out of the side of GG Till I Die. And Vala is on the hunt. Zebo looking to get himself stacked up here. I mean, that hatred with the smite out of Tyrael, given the speed boost, everybody's just hunting on the side of GG Till I Die, and they're starting this siege off in the bot lane. Zadie and Breakwood trying to get their camp done, but they're losing a little bit of pressure here, and now the Tyrael rotating up. They realize the camp hasn't been picked up, sees the Stukov, and just backs himself, thinks better of it. Now we'll see if Arrow 404 decide to make the aggressive play. Nazebo sitting fairly low down here in the bot lane. Tyrael and Tychus finishing off in the top lane with that camp, or in the, sorry, the Bruiser camp. But Yrel and Hogger duking it off here. And that's where Yrel, you know, that's her slow spot. But once she gets that insta-mount, she can just hop over that wall, mount herself up, and then she'll be caught up on the double soak. But this is where I said Hogger had the advantage. Gonna be able to pick up this camp here in the top lane, and that's gonna create a lot of pressure, having Tychus soak the mid lane while he gets this top minion camp. Everybody else going back to the 3-man in the bot lane, 3-on-4. And Hogger is able to get the camp. Tychus gonna finish off that soak in the middle. Now Yrel's like, okay, I'm gonna need some assistance if they do this three-man bot lane again. A lot of faith on the 3-man bot lane here. They've run it all series. Gonna continue it. Hogger brawling up against the Yrel here. And now Nazebo gonna answer the call, come up and soak some of this mid lane soak up. Already sitting on 91 stacks of his Q, so Nazebo doing a very good job at getting stacked off of that Q at 242. We'll have the quest done here in the next minute. But we have a triple altar phase starting off. Yrel and Hogger. We'll see what they elect to do, but the side of Error 4, or the side of GG Till I Die, they're not ready to give this up. They're not even looking at the camp. They're just looking to fight. The sleep going down on the Sylvanas. Vala right behind Tyrael, like in his back pocket, vaults forward, gets the multi-shot. Sylvanas sitting fairly low. It's a gentleman's agreement in the top lane so far. This bot hasn't even, look at this thing, it's just sitting here. Like, I want to kind of just chill on that until we see what happens, but it's a 3-on-3 so far. Everybody going back to soaking. And Vala really, I mean, this is going to benefit Vala greatly because she wants to get that at level 20. So they're just delaying, allowing Vala to get more experience and, you know, team to get more experience and eventually get to that 20. And Zebo there finishes his quest. The Spider's really hurting on Malfurion. Gonna have to get himself healthy again. So 2 shots to 1 in favor of GG Till I Die. And the backs are called by Error 404. Meanwhile, Hogger going to continue to siege and get the double soak. Yrel trying to answer the call. Get down here as well. How's that going so far? Hogger just has a little bit of a lead, but down in the bot lane, Vala is on the run. Maybe getting a little too far forward. Sitting very comfortably at half health, walking her way forward, getting the multi-shot down. And Vala's just running around like crazy. It's like, I'm not done. I got max hatred. I just want to keep on burning. Gonna have to back herself up. Has that increased movement speed at 7. Tyrael did pick it up, so even more movement speed and attack speed, getting that increased smite steroid for the Tychus and the Vala. And the camp's being picked up in the bot lane. Are they going to invade is the question. They don't have Malfurion, so it'd be a little risky. They've got a half-level lead so far. Vala wants to. Vala's like, I'm all about this invade. Here it comes, though. May have bitten off more than she could chew. Vala gonna go down. Error 404, recognizing that Vala likes to be aggressive, but Tychus now is in the back line. Tychus jumped on it with the Hogger. Yrel jumping all the way in, trying to chase down Tyrael. So far, it's 2-1 for Arrow 404, and they're continuing to press. And Arrow 404, Hogger actually catapulting all the way forward, knocks back the Johanna. Urel is in deep. Hogger just spinning to win. The Ruko's down onto the Stukov. He's asleep, but he's trying to get himself back to safety. Doesn't have a heal available quite yet. Gets it on himself. And Johanna gets the slow onto the Tyrael. That is going to be the end of that. Urel jumping all the way in is on the Malfurion. But Vala is back and Vala is ready. Malfurion gonna be able to get himself to safety here. Johanna throwing down the Blessed Shield, going all the way in here. The vulnerability is popped on the sanctification. Nazebo's in the middle of it with the Ravenous Spirit, and it gets interrupted by the Hogger in the backline. So we've got the chase now being started again by GG Till I Die. Vala putting out the strafe, gets one. Looking for the Urel, who's very low on mana. Hogger jumping in, isn't able to get the kill. Urel jumps over the wall. So it's 1 for 0 so far. And the kills I say so far, never mind, it's 2 for 0. Vala picks up the Stukov as well. That fight went for at least a minute and ended with a 2-0 in favor of GG Till I Die. And they get the bottom tower here, but I mean, that sanctification, that just absorbed everything from the Ravenous Spirit from Nazebo. And the little bit that ran out, the little bit that remained from the Ravenous Spirit, Hogger went back there and interrupted it, making sure that the whole team survived. So that was a huge sanctification coming in from Tyrael. We can go over, I mean, we saw, they weren't even level 10 when that fight started, and both teams hit their level 10s mid-fight. I had the talents turned off during that fight, but I'll show you now. 10's coming online. GG Till I Die get the sanctification, the Hortapult, the Strafe, the Commandeer Odin, and Malfurion getting that Tranquility. Meanwhile, the Wailing Arrow by the Sylvanas, the Ravenous Spirit by the Nazebo, the Ardent Defender by the Urel, the Blessed Shield by the Johanna, and it is going to be the Flailing Swipe from the Stukov. Swipes, plural. He gets 3. But Hogger trying to commit to this defense here. Doesn't want this to get turned over, and he's going to be successful. Clears out all the minions. Nothing left to siege. Meanwhile, everybody else on GG Till I Die sieging up this mid and bot lane. Tyrael's just solo defending this bot lane. It's like, I dare you to try. Gonna hold it. The rest of the team gonna be able to rotate in when Tyrael calls them. Camp being picked up, and here comes Air 404 looking for the hard engage. Urel jumping onto the point. Look for GG Fancy Pants. Ravenous Hydra goes out. Tyrael didn't have the sanctification because of the silence. That's a big silence coming out from the Stukov. And everybody is continuing to hunt down the Urel, pops the Ardent Defender. Johanna gets rooted, goes to sleep. The silence coming out, and Zadie getting a big knockback there. Now onto the Hogger. He pops the Unstoppable, but can't get away. But oh my gosh, look at the shred from the Hogger. Oh, that was like one of those trick shots you see. Yeah, the pings go down onto Simj. I mean, what a play coming in this guy. All the way back there. Vala goes and finishes the ace. But I mean, that was like a pool shark right there. Just getting all the right bounces there and able to clean house.
The altars have risen.
It looked for a second, Arrow 404, they had that fight. Like, they got in, they got the pick that they were trying to get. And it onto GG Fancy Pants, who's on the point. And then it was full steam ahead. Stukov got an amazing silence. Sorry, it wasn't GG Fancy Pants. I think he's right. It was Tyrael that died. Stukov got an amazing silence to make sure Tyrael couldn't get that sanctification down. And they got the burn. And then it just all turned on its head. Like, for how good that engage was from Arrow 404, Hogger just decided to ruin the entire thing. And now GG Till I Die gonna pick up the boss as well. And go siege up this top lane. And now it's a game of Ring Around the Rosie, musical chairs, whatever you want to call it. It is basically flip these keeps, or forts. They are still forts at this point. Not getting upgraded to keeps yet. Until one team buckles and decides to force something. But that will not be GG Till I Die. They're going to rotate all the way down to the bot lane and try and get this fort. Meanwhile, Air 404, they're going to go ahead and try to turn this top one back in, which they will do. So again, go back to a 5, which is better than the 6. They were at a 6-point disadvantage. Now they're only going to be at a 5. And now they look to get on 16s. They can't give up both of these shots. I mean, they can. They will be at, let's see, 6, 5, 10. They will be at 5 hit points remaining. The engage from the Blessed Shield onto the Hogger. They interrupt him. He does get the Horda pulled off eventually. It looked like for a second they were going to be able to get him with the CC lockdown, but now the counter engage is on. A lot of ultimates burnt. Hogger coming all the way back forward, looking for the engage, trying to get the stun. Doesn't land it. Throws down the junk, but the junk ultimately not able to block anybody. But Tychus going to go ahead and get. Sylvanas wants to go in. She jumps all the way forward, then repositions, getting herself back with the double boop. And Yrel going to go ahead and try and get this sneaky pick, but Tychus able to scout it out. Going to shred through with that minigun. Going to chase forward too as well. She's underneath the tower, taking tower shots, and Tychus gets a spray, but the absorb is there. The re-engage is on. The silence does not connect, but Sylvanas gets the silence of her own. Chasing the Tranquility is popped, healing that that Tychus there. I wanted to call him Stukov because he's wearing the infested skin. But there it goes. The flip is there, but not quite in time. And this is going to flip back. So it is going to be 6 shots remaining. Nazebo did fall to the Tyrael Vala in the mid lane. Hogger able to pick up that Sapper camp in the bot, but the 5-man is here. The cavalry has arrived. They're trying to siege through. And the minions continuing to just press in the bot lane.
I have opened a tunnel near our core that leads to the battlefield. Use it well.
And Sylvanas gonna go ahead and jump in, repositions herself back again. Vala very far forward, couldn't put the pressure down on the Stukov. Zadie gonna fall. Johanna getting damaged as well. She will fall second. Everybody's just jumping past that red line that says do not pass. They don't care, they're passing anyway. Ravenous Spirit going out, seeing if it can get a kill on GG Fancy Pants. May pick it up, it does. Tyrael had the Sanct, but didn't have the mana. So Nazebo able to pick up that kill. And this will be the fort flipping back over, or keep now. Well, it is going to flip over, but at what cost? Sylvanas jumping forward, has a mana to reposition herself back. The Wailing Arrow going to prevent anybody from jumping. Vala really wants this kill. Thinks better of it, backs herself off, has the healing coming in from the Malfurion. And this is going to be a triple altar phase. 2 have to be picked up by GG Till I Die for the victory here. And so we are going to see a one last hurrah coming in for Arrow 404. Or maybe not. Maybe it's not a one last hurrah. Here we go. Sylvanas gets in, gets a Vala. It's not. They're going to survive to find another day. If Sadie can get herself away, gets the flailing swipes. That's like calling your shot right there. They did exactly what they needed to do. Tyrael trying to create the delay. Sylvanas getting the channel down here in the bot lane. Gets the first one off. So now Air 404 starting their comeback. It is Towers of Doom. There's always the possibility of coming back on this map. Unstoppable is popped. Tychus and Malfurion in. The Odin is popped as well. Tyrael running himself away, but he is too low. He can't really get back into this fight. And now everybody's turning. Stukov getting bullied by the Hogger. Sylvanas is there as well. The Ravenous Spirit being thrown out to kill the Hogger. Hogger goes down. The Sanctification is popped. Everybody is invulnerable. The big red button is now out from the Tychus. Johanna getting away at 100. Malfurion gets that last auto attack in. Yrel trying to get onto the Tychus here. Has the knockback, but doesn't get the stun, and is going to fall to the spray and pray. And this is going to be the Sylvanas looking to try and get this last kill. Isn't going to find it. And GG Till I Die just looking to finish things up. Gets the root, looking for the sleep. That is the 5-man ace. Vala throwing out the strafe. Tyrael taking a couple hits from spiders. And ultimately, the GG's being thrown out. And this will be game number 3. Going over to GG Till I Die. And the domination. And I mean, GG Till I Die looking very strong in this showing. They'd only played one match so far, but they were able to come away with this and really put on a show using that Junkrat very well. I mean, that Hogger play in game number 3. How about that Hogger play? That was absolutely incredible to see the Hogger in some of those late game team fights just play to the absolute best of that champion's ability. It was amazing to watch. Give me 1 second here. I'm going to see if we want to find. But looking at these stats real quick, Nazebo putting out a fair amount of damage. Got some good damage with the Ravenous Spirit. And Vala putting out just a ton of damage. I mean, that Vala played so aggressively. Was in the front line doing so much damage with that W. I got to pull up the talents. See how Vala finished that round of that one out. It's pretty, I'm guessing, yeah, it was pretty standard going the Hot Pursuit at 7 and the Gloom at 13 with the W at 1, 4, and 16. So pretty standard Vala build coming out. Nothing too insane. Tychus going the same build as in game 1. Malfurion going the full heal build. Really was doing a great job at just keeping that Vala topped off when she would dive herself in and around. Tyrael going that stim Vala build at level 7. You know, taking the early armor, making himself a lot more tanky. Got the Justice for All to make sure his teammates got a little bit. I was checking to see if GG Till I Die wanted to come in and talk for a minute, but they think they're going to wait and hold it off for another series. But they get the 2-0 victory here. I mean, Era 404, they definitely put up fight, and there were a couple of good moments. I mean, I still want to go back and watch that Stukov silence on the Tyrael Sanctification. Like, that was absolutely critical coming in from Stukov there, making sure that Tyrael didn't get that Sanct Paw and ultimately picking off those kills. Just Hogger, I mean, that was their way back into the game right there. Just Hogger decided to make a play of his own. So that was like a great play for a great play being changed back and forth. But that was our series for today. Thank you, everybody, for coming in and joining me. That was a lot of fun. Definitely enjoying this Storm League matchup. And that does put, I believe, GG Till I Die up into 3rd place now in the standings with 2 points. Looking to have their next match down the road and continue to show themselves to be a strong contender here in the Storm League. But for tonight, thanks again all for coming out and joining me. If you don't know who I am, haven't had a chance to follow me, I think this is my 2nd Storm League cast this season. You can go over to my channel, twitch.tv/icex02. That is me, where you can find me and all of my schedules for when I am casting. Do a lot of casting in NGS, all divisions. Try and spread the wealth as much as I can. Got a replay cast in this morning, had a little bit of extra free time. And ultimately, I think this is probably it. I've done a ton of casting. I think I've casted like 5 series this week, 2 of them being Storm Division matches. So I think I'm going to take just a little bit of a breather the rest of the week. But next week, I've been eyeing a couple matches. I usually put up my schedule for casting on my channel on Sunday afternoons. So you can catch it there and come on over and have some more fun. But as far as Storm Division, I should be back next week, casting at least one of the series. Usually Tuesday nights or Friday nights are the nights that I try to pick up. I don't believe I have raid admin rights yet, so I don't believe I can raid. So I'll see if there's anybody. I'm going to see if there's anybody that we can raid or ping somebody to possibly raid. And while I wait for that to go through, that'll be it. Thank you all so much for coming in. I'm going to throw it over to a couple commercials real quick, and I'll see if I can get a mod in here to get a raid going, get us over to some more action. I believe Frosty's got a match over on his channel. So if we can't send you there, you can just navigate your way on over there. Frosty Hots is his tag. You can catch him out. He's got, I believe it's Nexus Division matchup there. But thanks all again for coming out, supporting. Definitely appreciate it. Thanks for all the bits that were dropped tonight. And I hope to catch you here next time. Take care all and have a great evening.